Well, that was fast this time. Let me get over to YouTube so I can see things the way you guys see things. Just gotta refresh this. I did restart my computer today, so hopefully it will be a little more well behaved than usual. All right, let's turn the volume off and put this on live chat. Hey, Carla, you're never well behaved. Well, that's what we like about you. Hope you're having a good weekend. I almost didn't come live just as I was getting ready to hit the play button or the go live button. I saw that Johnny's having a sale over on her channel. And I feel like that's all the time with everybody now. Everybody's selling in every live they're on. I think that's just indicative of business. I know business has been slow for me, but it's been that way for a while, and I think other people might be feeling it too. Hey, Pam. Hi, Sandy. Trying to stay away from the sales. Well, here we are. I'm finishing up a pile of ironing, and I'm sorry that that's a thing that's going on, but Sundays are always kind of a whatever I'm doing sort of live, and I apologize for that, but I got to get this pile of ironing done. So that's where we're at the moment. I'm more than half done with it, but it's still a pretty hefty pile. We'll work through it as quickly as I can. For a lot of papers, I do 2 or 3 at a time. For the 24-pound papers, I can only do 2. For some of the smaller stuff like this, I can do 2, 3, sometimes 4. And it makes the ironing go a little bit faster. When I iron, I'm trying to get them facing the same way. Make sure there's no schmutz from the dye. Sometimes it gets like a powdery coating of the grounds from the coffee or the tea on it. And so I try and get that off there. Which is my hands are dirty. It's kind of relaxing in its own way, you know. You never sell anything? Never, ever, ever? You probably got lots of fun goodies. I think 3. Okay, Janice. Have you? I do it every now and then. I try to do the ironing before, but I'm, as always and forever, I am running behind. So I'm trying to and then I'm going to work a little bit on I found a format that I really like for the journal I want to make for this quarter, which is going to be the Boo Crew box. And I think I'm going to have to skip it because I just don't have enough interesting things, I think, to put together a whole kit. And when I started looking at what the kit would be, I think most of you probably already have the things. The only thing you might not have is a big envelope, but I think everybody, you may not have one dyed by me, but you probably have a big envelope. So we're going to look at doing, I think it's a fairly simple construction. It's something I've never done before, so we can watch me fumble around with it and kind of make a jackass out of myself. But, that's what's fun. Is we learn from each other's mistakes, Sometimes I think people who do tutorials try and make it look too perfect, and then you miss the things that go wrong. And that might have helped you to not go wrong. Even the ones that are explained the very best. You miss a word, or you look away for a second and suddenly you've got things on backwards, or you put it in the wrong place, or you thought you were doing the right thing, but you didn't do the right thing. Hey, Mari, how you doing? How's your Sunday? Hope you had a good weekend. I hope all of you had a good weekend. You were lazy? Yay, we're lazy. You work hard all week. But you could always have more. Well, I'll show you guys what it's all about. And if you still think the kit is worth doing, I'd be happy to do it. Our theme for this quarter is Love Gone Wrong. And I haven't printed up any digitals, but I wanted to do a couple of mock-ups to, to get a little familiar with the process. And she did it one way, and I could see a couple of ways of doing it. It's a tiny variation, but, we'll see. But first, I want to get this ironing done because I need to make another sale video. I haven't made my rent yet this month. Not that it's your guys' responsibility, but I'm hoping if I do a couple more videos. But it's looking like I may have to follow it with a live sale on Friday if I don't. But it's been kind of a week of misadventure as well, Last week, not this week. Things didn't line up. I thought I was getting sick on Thursday, Friday. I had a little tickle in my throat, and it was kind of hard to swallow. Turns out it's just bad allergies. Yesterday was good. This morning. Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry, Mari. That's terrible. People can be jerks. Just because something's open doesn't mean you need to help yourself. Okay. Oh, all right. So that's a thing. So I took a bunch of vitamin C for no reason, but maybe I'll be healthier. Yeah, well, that's the other thing is sometimes they go through parking lots and stuff and they break all the windows on a bunch of cars, and it's usually kids doing that, teenagers, nothing better to do, or looking to make some pocket change and score a few CDs or whatever it is these days. Hopefully you didn't have any tools or anything stored in there like that. Well, that's good. That's good, Pam. At least you didn't lose anything valuable. And no broken windows is a definite bonus, because windows, even with insurance, it's a PETA. The car's never really the same. And insurance doesn't always cover all of it. And nobody got hurt, so yay, double bonus. I'm sure this whole situation is a PETA, and probably a few things came up missing, but all in all, it sounds like It's not as bad as it could have been. Oh dear. They left his drills and $4. Okay, so they took the 5 bullets but left the $4. That's kind of insulting. Your dollar bills are not good enough for us. Too bad about his Jordans, though. I know those aren't cheap. That's upside down, Amy. The whole point is to get them all pointed in the right direction. It's been quite. The boys wound up not coming for whatever reason. Els wasn't very specific. And, kid-free weekend is always okay with me. But I know that she feels like she doesn't get to see them enough now. They're all getting to be teens, and wanting to come visit the grandparents is going to be a thing they don't want to do. It's starting to, I think it's starting with Dude. He'd rather stay home, and I don't know if it's about hanging with his friends or. Oh no, so they got brand new shoes. The person, not the shoe. Yeah. I was like, why would we want to beat up shoes? It's not the shoes' fault. You gotta wonder about people sometimes, though, you know? That's, not necessarily a bad thing, but I've heard a lot of stuff with those security cameras. Even though the police will take the footage, they're not so good at following up, But at least for your own peace of mind, maybe it's a neighbor or somebody who walks by regularly. Some people just walk down the road trying different car, if they can get into a car. I think if people put as much time and energy into doing something constructive as they do into being jackasses, the world would be a much better place. And then they could make a buck honestly instead of off someone else's back. Anybody do any crafting this weekend? Or I know Carla said she was being lazy. Or go anywhere, do any thrift shopping, or run some errands. Did you have any good yummy meals? Okay, that is way more than I thought it was. Okie dokie. So let's put that aside for right now. Move on to the next thing. Hey Roseanne, how you doing? It's not a murder. They won't do anything. I had him bust out my window and look and took your cell. I tracked them to find my phone. Oh, Carla. You limit it to 1 day a week. You went through. Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, keep you from spending too much money, acquiring too many things. I hope you had a good time. You might have told me about it on Friday, but I have the attention span of a gnat. Unfortunately. See, this has the fine layer of like coffee grounds on it. You went to your neighbor's funeral service? Oh, that's a little bit sad. Domestic laundry, groceries, enchiladas, nice. Spaghetti, well, that's all the great things. Oh, you got a house full. You shop, yes. I've got your order all, even in a package. I'm gonna do a couple more videos, and depending on how that goes, I may follow it up with a live sale on Friday. If the videos go all right, then we'll start invoicing on Wednesday, but it might be as late as Friday, if that's okay with you. We're trying to make rent over here. I didn't do my normal sale at the beginning of the month. Well, it's just been, this year has been a little bit weird. It's just a little off. I can't quite get my footing, Nothing wrong per se, just everything slightly to the left. Okay, good to hear. It's a little warm in here today because I got the iron going on. I think somebody might have bumped the heat up a little bit. I will say I went outside this morning to have some coffee. And it was pretty cold out there for here. This paper is already pretty well behaved because it sat in a pile for about a week. But I still like to give it the once over. It helps smooth down the edges, and sometimes you can't help wrinkly edges. It just happens. I do like ironed. Oh, there's a damaged one. So we'll pull that one out. That one's got a little tear in it. You're having a busy year so far? It's been busy in a weird way, just weird things coming up and needing to be taken care of. I had some family stuff come up, which is never a picnic for me. It's resolved, but it just left me feeling kind of weird, I feel like I'm just a little out of step with the year at this point. I'm sure it will all work itself out. Try not to get too stressed about these things, you know? You can't control everything. So, why let it get you stressed out? I figure every day, little baby steps, and we'll get there. Hobby Lobby and Walmart. Yeah, we went out to Hobby Lobby yesterday. I'm not exactly sure why we went. In the end, it felt like a giant waste of time. I could have totally. First of all, I don't have any money to spend, so I just went because Elle said I was going, and I'm like, all right. I gotta just say no more often, because you know it was Saturday and it's a lot of people, and I'm not, you know, I don't enjoy the peopling so much. So I dyed this huge piece of map. This is that aviation map stuff. I managed to get it all in the vat folded and still get pretty good coverage. Whoa. Get it smoothed out some so it's easy to store in the another piece right there of a different. I gotta figure out what I did with the rest of that. And then we have some super extra grungy pieces. These ones may be a little crunchy. If we folded that, it might crack a little. Yeah, people, you did that on Friday. Yeah, that's total. I mean, it's not like we just wandered all over the store looking at whatever we wanted. It was a purpose-driven mission that I was never really given the parameters of the mission. But it was not successful, and I felt like I wasted my time. And then there were, oh, see, that cracked. It's cracky. I'm not a person that just enjoys going out for the sake of going out. This one is, these are very crunchy. I may have to toss these. I don't know. Because they are very crunchy. Crunchy. Oh, nice. I'm glad you got it. Hi, Christine. How you doing? How's your weekend going, hon? Christine's usually working on stuff when she's in here, you know, cleaning or crafting or... She's one of our best workers. She usually drops in, a line and says hello to us. Oh, there you go. Yeah. That's important. Family first. It's good that you could be there for her. That's awesome. We're almost to the end of the ironing pile, and then we'll be able to move on to some other things. This one, nope, it's not. I thought it was damaged, but it's just the dye seeped into the seam. Got more coffee dye coming out tonight. And Mike was very nice and washed my small racks for me yesterday. I just got to bring them in the house. I think there's a couple ladies that come around that might give you a fist fight for your... A lot of people like that crunchy paper. That's a little crunchier than I normally go with, though. I hate to give up on paper, but I think that might actually be too much. Because it's definitely going to break when it folds. And I don't... Usually it's not shiny like that. That means the coffee pulled and dried like that. And I try not to do the shiny bits. Because sometimes they can be, like when I iron them, occasionally they can get like kind of sticky. It's all part of the process, though. Sometimes you get unexpected results. That's what makes it fun. You never know. 100%. There's a lot of things you can control, but some of it's just luck of the draw. And I love seeing what happens with different stuff. Uh-oh. And there went some paper right under the floor. That's okay. We'll get it all in a minute. Because the ironing board moves so much when I iron. If a pile gets a little teetery, some of it will always drop onto the floor. Hey, get some nice bits of grunge in here, though. And the color is nice. I think we had good color this time out. I've been trying a slightly different process with the coffee to get it just a little darker. I think it's working okay. When you do tea, you want it kind of mellow. When you do coffee, you want it to be as grungy as you can make it, right? And then sometimes I like, the stuff kind of in the middle, where it's got the nice dark color, but not very much in the way of patterning. Especially if I'm going to actually journal on it. That's always a thing. I think we... Oh, and there's a damaged piece. We'll put that over here with that one. We always find a place or a use for them, or they go in a damages. This is, hold on. I got a big chunk. I see it sliding away slowly. It's because there are big papers on top of small papers. In a minute, we'll look at everything. I need to move these envelopes, so let's maybe put those over here for right now. They're part of what's making it all uneven. Okay, that should hold us because we're this far from the end. We're almost there. Right? That's a thing. See, look on these ones. The paper got down into the seam where the perforation is, and it makes it look like to me like it's coming away, but it's not. It's just where the coffee soaked into the actual perforation. It's kind of cool. I don't think I've seen that before. Or if I did, I didn't notice it. I don't want to drink coffee that stands up with a spoon, but when I'm doing the coffee dye, and I like to get it as dark as possible so you can get it grungy faster, And then it's just ice cold in the garage, you guys. Which is making me not want to go out there, but I'm going to have to. I gotta get my ass in gear. You know. Okay, we've got a folded corner here. Let's see if we can't. There we go. Now let's do it this way. Got to do it both ways to get the folds out. So that's kind of cool. I like that it's gotten down into the perforation. That's a neat effect. Because, I like to keep the perforation pieces on there if I can. Doesn't always work. But if they come off, then I put that in Scraps of Joy and I use it later for collage. These have a nice color to them and I like the effect. So I'm very happy with this batch. See, there it is there down in the perforation again. Some of these items will be in the next video, and some of them won't. Some of them are for a project I have coming up. And we have our mini atlas pages. This is the last thing, and there's only a few of them. brings back some of the suppleness to the paper. It also makes it easier to store, obviously. But I know a lot of people like unprocessed, so the batch I have in now, probably anything that I am not using for myself, I will probably not process it. No, I do not bake my paper. I don't think it's good for the paper. I know a lot of people do, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I don't like the effect. And I found if you're not real careful, you can wind up with brittle paper. So I do not. But it's a personal preference thing. Some people love it that way because it does give it a more crunchy finish. You get more of that fun crunchy noise out of your paper. Okay. So now we're sorting things into piles. So bear with me while we get things into piles. I know there's another one of these somewhere. See, look at how the rack marks. It may be time to wash the racks coming up. They're so dark, they're almost burgundy, and it's only the coffee on the racks. I have not had anything else on the racks except coffee since the last time I washed them. But I have done so many batches. Can't even begin to tell you how many batches have been processed since the last time those racks. We let the patina build up on it because it creates its own grunge, you know. Okay. Come back here. No running away. Okay. I've got a registration guide. Got a couple of bookends, you know, the page at the beginning of the book. Those are grungiest. Okay. These are our map pieces for this time. I think I'm going to store that. I'm going to fold it this way. Now these are signature pages. I just, when they're small like this, it's easier to iron them if they're folded out. Okay. There's some half sheet pages, scraps. And I think this is all of our 24-pound paper here. Let me see. I don't think that's everything that's in here. I know there's some book pages in here. Oh, I missed some book pages. Okay. I think, nope, there's another one. Okay, all of that is 24-pound except that. Carla, do those look familiar? Now, I have racks that I lay them out on and I let them air dry with a fan blowing on them is how I do mine. These are I did some of these before, but these are the larger ones that I barely could get them in the die batch, but I did it. So I'll put those over there. Now, this is a paper that Alice found in this convention. It is a large grid paper, and I couldn't fit it in the vat without folding it. These were the test ones to make sure it was going to hold the lines. It did hold the lines. So there are some in the batch that's currently out there that's waiting to come out after I'm not live anymore. So nice big pages for our big journals. And then we've got all this fun stuff over here. Some of that will be, this is not all dyed. This was a huge stack of paper in or an array of pastel colors. And I think I've only dyed about half of it. So I got to wait for the other part to, I didn't get it in this batch that I'm doing. So, and check that out. That is all of my tea dyed paper right there, or coffee dyed. These are those book pages from, oops, the map pieces and the half page scrap pieces. Stuff everywhere. So these are from, these are the pages out of these books. With the slightly green tint to them. These are all the signature pages. Oops. And you can see we got some grunge. Now this is just one book's worth. I haven't not dyed the rest of them yet. We got some good markings. Not too dark. And then we'll flip it the other way. I think that's probably about the darkest page right there. But they are kind of, it's a very, very light, kind of greenish tinge to the papers. The books are from the 1950s. And they're about a factory, running a factory. It's like a management book series. And then this was attached to one of the pages as a tip-in. So it went like this, I think. Let's see. It went like this. This was the part that it would have been glued down like something like that. And then you would pull it out. So this book only had one, but some of the books had many, many. So this will be in the next video. I'll fold them up because it is a signature page. But I will fold these up and get them into page packs. Probably for either Friday or for the video. Yeah, Janice, gimme. They're larger than that one. Holy cow. Well, I thought with these, because, I talked about I'm going to be kind of trying to work through. This is going to be the format for the journal, and you can see it's all going to be covered. I have some in the vat. These were Scavenger Find, and they're from a doctor's office, and all of them have this on there. But, so it has a journaling thing here and a waterfall thing here and some envelopes over here. And then you stuff a journal on that side. It's a video that actually Sandy found. And, but I think because the thing is oriented. So like, even if I fold it in half, like the top is weird, man. But I thought, what if we folded it that way? This is for a whole different idea. This is, Carla sent me some of these MoneyGram envelopes to dye, and they are fun. That's very, very tall, though, and I would have trouble finding paper for that. So we'd probably have to put let's see. I'm not sure. Anyway, let me iron that out of there real quick. Having fun with it. Because I didn't burnish it. It still shows a little bit because the iron's not all the way hot anymore. But I'll figure something out. Yeah, so these will be some of the stuff that's here will be not the envelopes, obviously, but the book pages, the dot matrix, probably not the coffee dyed paper, honestly. Oh wait, there's a little bit more of this in here. I thought I caught it all. Okay, so I'll put that over there. Just give me a second. I got to count some of these out. it over and get some from the other side. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25. Ooh, look at that one. That's a beauty, isn't it? Okay. Oh, and these will probably be in the video too. The Giotto score pads. At least not all of them, but some of them. Some of them for a different pack. You think the 11 by how tall are these? Now I have questions. Hold on. I need I still have not found my ruler. See, look at that. So from the coffee. It makes the oh, use your words, Amy. It makes the towel dirty. So it looks like it's maybe, it goes, can you guys see the end of the, maybe it's probably close to an inch that hangs. So this is about 13 inches by about 10 inches. See, I kind of like the idea. This isn't the one I folded already, so I'm not gonna, so 13, so 11 by 17. And I know I had some in my hands a hot second ago. Hold the phone. Come out of there. Okay, so that's 11 by 17. Wait, where'd the envelope that I actually folded go? It was this one. Let's at least play with the same one. So let's see. After folding it in half. Can't trust me for a second. Now what happens if we fold it the other way? Turned off the iron, but I can't put it on the floor yet because it's still hot. So now obviously that's going to be really too tall, but oh look, yes it would. Carla's right. I would even have to trim it down a little bit, like this way and that way. Super. We could have a super tall journal. I don't know what we do with it. So, yeah. All right. So we got kind of an idea. That's a super like tall journal, and then we can make like one to go in the pocket too, maybe, or something to go in the. That's a big pockety. Look at that. So yeah, that's a thing. Okay, let's put that over there. Okay. Get yourself under control, Amy. One project at a time. That never happens in my life. It's never just one project. Okay. I'm going to move this stuff off the end of the ironing board, though, because I just know that at some point I'm going to rock this enough to flop everything right off there. So let's put that on the floor over there where it will be safe. We have all this yummy paper to play with. Ooh, I could always use it, Carla. Always looking for paper. Yeah, there's no such thing as enough when it comes to paper to dye. So I think I have one more of these to fold down. Just because I never do one thing. I got to be psycho and make 4 of them. So the video that the idea is from is a little bit older. And I'm just doing this because these journals never have a spine in them, and I'm not going to add one. But I am kind of making so that this is a little more like you get the where this goes over, and as it gets bigger, it goes like that. You know, it'll still cover the thing, so that this has kind of 2 lines on it, so that as you add stuff on the inside, you don't get so much. Because one of the things I don't like about stuff made out of envelopes like this is that you'll have a big, like there's really no room for the amount of stuff that you do put in there. So it creates a thingy thing. So, do you guys want to link to the video that it's an older video, and by Natasha at Treasure Books, and it is 7 months old. So it was not a long time ago, but a hot minute ago. So this is Natasha. Okay. Natasha at Treasure Books. Okay. That's what I'm working from. I've never made this. I've actually never made anything out of an envelope, I don't think. You know, I made that flippy flappy envelope thing that Brooke made like a couple of years ago. I think 2 Christmases ago I made it. Like she made a Christmas one and I made something creepy. So, and I have some in the current batch dying. So if anybody wants to reference that, this is not my idea. So what she did first was 1, 2, 3. She took 5 sheets of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she just folded them. Now she waited until it was all together to trim about 1/8 of an inch off of them folded like this. So I'm thinking I'm just going to trim 1/4 of an inch off these, just a little bit. Of course. And my trash is full. I'm having a thing. Okay. And she said it was, obviously she showed hers when she folded it in half and put it in, and there was enough room. However, she didn't want it really close to the middle of the journal because she was going to put other stuff in there. And she didn't want it to get too bulky, was the reasoning. That should do. I never work with this size of anything. You guys know that. This is all new for me. All right. So, yeah, see, and I probably didn't need to trim mine at all. I think my envelope might be a little bit bigger because hers was basically the size of the, No, because I'd have to trim too much down. We'll just live with it. We'll do that. Well, she's got room on hers too. I'm looking at it right here. No, I'm looking at my own shit. Okay, so I want to skip a little bit ahead here. Yeah, hers is roughly the size. She's got a little bit of room on each end. I've got a lot of room. So I don't know if I like that. This could be a problem. I have to think about this for a second. I don't know why it would say that, Sandra. I'm sorry. You're the one that sent me the link to it. A month or so ago. I don't know. It was a while ago. Yeah, I don't know if I like that much. How do you guys feel about that? Because if I use the bigger paper, then I have to trim it down 2 ways. But it would probably fit better. Not that color. I just want tea dyed. That's a different weight of paper. So you need 5, 10, and then whatever you needed for the waterfalls. I'm not going to make the journal with varying sizes papers. I'm just worried that this is so much. Like that's the size difference. And I don't want to okay. I don't like that. So I'm going to hold on. Now I got to go to the filing cabinet and see how much tea dyed paper I have in there. It's the bigger size. Because I don't think I have any more up here. I think this is all regular size paper. Okay, hold on. hold on a second. Okay. So I don't have, at the moment anyway. Let me see what's in here. Nope, not there. Okay. Susan, always practical. I know, but then this part's not going to match, and yeah, I don't have enough big tea dye paper at the moment or coffee. So, all right. What are we doing? We're going to have to trim it or fold it. 2, 3. Okay, here we are back to 5 sheets of paper because we clearly don't need to trim that for this way. We're not having a problem with it getting too close to the middle of the thingamabobber. But that is just way, I'm okay with a little bit, but I'm going to have a little tiny bit. I don't want it to be totally flush top and bottom, but now where is my pencil? Hello, Susan. Hello, Betty. Susan's practical. Just cut it off. That's okay. Okay. So now we will have to repair that. Actually, truthfully, the way the thing is made, that will take care of itself as we move on. How you doing? Susan, did you have a good weekend? Did you and Betty have fun? Are you relaxed? All that stuff? Okay, so there's no cover on this. She just sewed it just like this. So that's what we're going to do. Oh boy. Where'd the other stuff go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, she did use, I think, embroidery thread. So there's that. There's a needle. Okay. I don't like this pair of scissors. Okay. So, anybody have done any work on their serial killer journal? I looked over what I did on Friday, and I was pretty happy with mine. It's coming along. We'll figure out ways to make it creepier and creepier. Hopefully. Hopefully. Now, we're not sewing this in the middle. We're actually going to hinge it on the edge here. Because that's what she did. So I'm just poking holes in here. Willy-nilly. Because that's how I am. And I still want mine on the inside. I prefer mine to be on the inside. I know a lot of people prefer the outside. Not so with me. It's amazing how much easier it is to sew up when you don't have to try and find the center and the spine. I'll tell you what, though. I did something where I was sewing things together. I think last week. And until I tried to do it on camera, it was going swimmingly. The minute I tried to do it on camera, it was like, nope. We'll be having none of those shenanigans. Okay, let's... That didn't come out right. I did something wrong. Oh, I know what I did. Dork. Okay. Every now and then. Just can't leave me alone for 2 seconds. I didn't skip the middle hole like it was supposed to. Oh, cool. Awesome, Roseanne. I like it. There's no wrong way to do it. Just whatever you... This is all about what you guys like to do. Because if it's not fun, what's the point? Okay. So there I am. I'm back in there. Now we're going to go down here. I went back in the middle, and I was just having a good old time with that. Now back in the middle. And everybody says, oh, be careful. If you come out on the wrong side, like you can't just slide the needle under there and ta-da, it's on the other side. You don't have to be playing high, peekaboo with the needle to get it on the other side. We're going to need that again, but I don't want to lose it in the meantime. So let's get that nice and snug. It's only 5 sheets of paper. I'm guessing you could add as many sheets as you want, or if you have thinner sheets, you could, But because it's all hinged on, and she did hinge hers with washi tape. And I think I might be doing cloth strips. So she laid hers like this. But then she's, when you get to a certain point, you're covering all of this with scrap paper or cardstock, scrapbooking cardstock. So the hinges get reinforced by having something over them. So it's not just hinged. Well, those creepy dudes are often the guy next door. They just don't show their creepy side to their next door neighbors. So I don't have much in the way of wide washi tape. So I'm probably going to go fabric strips. And I think I have. Seriously? No, you don't. Well, that's just annoying. Okay. What do we like? Now remember, we're doing Love Gone Wrong. I wonder if I have enough of this. I think I used that for... Let me see if it's a whole piece or if this is the same one I was taking pieces off before. Yeah, I've already taken pieces off this one. So let's just go with this. Quite honestly, at the end, you don't see very much of it. So I don't think I'm going to stress about it too much. Creepy guys on Serial Killer Boulevard. Okay, so I think I want about 3/4 of an inch. She wanted some over there and some over there. Maybe an inch. We'll see. We're going to rip it. We're going to rip it. I think I did. I don't know if I tea-dyed this one. I don't know if I made that wide enough. I did make it curl up a little bit, though. That was exciting. Okay. Now, what I probably could have done was made this whole thing into book cloth. Although you can't rip it once it's book cloth. So there is that. This is all going to be covered up, so it doesn't matter that there's a spot on there. I think I maybe needed this to be a little wider, but we're just going to go with it. Okay, so let's get this where we want it right here. And then doing the length here. Oh, right about on that fold. Perfect. That means we might get 2 out of each piece. That'd be nice. Okay. I kind of don't want it to slippy slidey around, but I think there's not going to be a way around it. Do I feel like I need to use Fabri-Tac on this? Probably not, because it's not backed with anything. And my glue is with me. Found it. Let's just let that sit there for a second. It was the wrong way up. Carla, you changed? I'm still formulating your serial killer. I'm playing it. I'm a pantster. I'm flying by the seat of my pants on this one. I'm just gonna see how mine works out. Nobody's all one thing all the time. So what are you thinking? Or are you not ready to share yet? All right. Okay, let's start by doing it here. Okay. Okay. I cut it longer than I needed to. Okay, is that about half? Because we want half on one side and half on the other. Okay. Paper towel. Okay. I've never done one like this before. This is weird to me. So, okay, when you're ready, we hope you'll share. We never want to push anybody before they're ready. Okay. So obviously we're going to have to let that dry for a hot minute, and then we're going to hinge it on the other side with the other piece that I think will be okay. Oh, I see. I cut it. Oh, I see what I did. This was the I used the wrong piece. It's okay. Well, that's exciting, but you're getting ideas. I like it. Okay. I guess on this one, we'll go ahead and add it to this side too already. Okay. Paper towel for a mess. go ahead and trim some of this while we've got the chance. Okay. So we see we've got plenty of room there, and there's going to be the waterfall thing here. So, but she had us attach all the things before we put in, I think, the fronts and the backs, because those reinforce where the hinges are. Okay, so we got to wait a couple of minutes for this to not be sticky. Let me go over to that video and see about the waterfall portion. I'm not sure how many pieces of paper that was. I don't want sound. Stop it. This isn't even the right thing. Okay, she goes over and does the envelopes next. I haven't even pulled envelopes yet. Okay, so how tall is our thing? How long the envelopes can be. That's like 9 3/4. 8 3/4. Okay. 8 3/4. So if you guys could craft anything you wanted, what would you be crafting right now? Like if you didn't have to worry about having the supplies, what's your go-to crafting thing? Well, you guys are thinking about that. I'm going to run out and grab some envelopes. I'll be right back. Okay. Envelopes. Okay. So, here we go. Perfect. And my door is still hanging open, and my alarm is going off. Okay. Well, part of what you guys tune in for is what kind of crazy stuff will I knock off my ironing board. Okay. You crochet and knit in the winter. That's a good hobby to have in the winter. Oh, nice, Roseanne. You can't find your paper cutter. Oh boy. Us crafters, don't we have some issues? Okay. Let's see how these envelopes will work. Okay, that one is like right on the... Okay, that'll work. I think this one won't work then because it's a smidge taller. So we'll have to go get a different envelope besides this one because that's going to be just a smidge taller. And I don't want to cut the sides off. And then I got this one, which is a little... It's got a gold thing. Okay, so let's see. That sounds like fun. Creepy medical or just, just a regular nursey thing? Okay. Okay. How do you know envelope should you put it here? Ah! It's a very tall envelope. Okay, so she had one that was a little bit shorter than this one, but taller. So I think I need one that's a little bit shorter, but a little bit shorter both ways. There's that one. So we need one more. Wait, I have some envelopes in here. But I think it's too similar. Yes.
Hey, lady.
I'm live.
Fixed, cleaned.
Oh, okay.
All
Awesome.
tightened up.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
Thank you. Are those two similar in size? I think we need... Okay. I think about the third size. Hey, Sabrina, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a lovely weekend. I'm going to go look for one more envelope. We'll use either that or that, but we need something... I don't know. We just need something different. Bold, please. Okay, I have returned it. I have some other envelopes. Ooh, washing the dishes. There's a job that never ends. You had an exciting weekend? Awesome. Glad to hear it. He washed my racks for me. He was very nice. I've been putting it off because it's been cold and I'm a wimp. Wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. Okay. This is so that's the same envelope. Okay, so that's too long. Okay. That's a security. That's a really cheap security envelope. But look at that pattern. So I don't think I want that. So maybe these 3 sizes then? We could do 4, but she did 3 and I don't want to. Okay, so let's see. I like the gold one, but I think okay, so she did, I think, big one, medium one. So I think these are the order they're going to go in here. And Pam is on the never-ending cycle of things that, you got to do. Okay. So now I got to go over there and have a peeky peek. I'll be right back. So he washed my racks, and then today he on his lunch break just now he tightened up some of the screening was coming loose, and it has been for a while, but they're constantly in use. And it was windy. Apparently he can hear me. Okay, so so we're putting the first envelope in. So whatever's our first envelope, I'm going to go with this one. And the flap faces us. Maybe just to make it easier to see. Now I've lost yet another ink pad. Jesus. Every day I lose another ink pad. We'll ink the edges of this just... This is just a prototype. That's why I'm not using anything fancy. Not using any dyed paper, really. Because I won't let this go to waste. It'll get decorated and stuff, but in case it turns out horrible, I don't want to invest any since it's my first time. Okay. Go ahead and ink all these. That way we don't, yeah, just in case. I normally just go all in, but you know how it goes. I'm chicken these days. Okay. There, that at least distinguishes it a little bit. It's not white on white on white on white. Yes, 4 kids. Holy cow. Okay, so the inked ones are again. Okay, and then inks there. Okay. So, and we don't want it right on the fold because we're going to be adding the smaller envelope to the front afterwards. So, we're going to need another strip of fabric. This may be overkill on the fabric. Maybe I want, but I want it all to kind of matchy just in case, you know, things are happening. Okay. It's a little bit long. Still a little bit long. Okay. So we just want to get half of it on this side. Now I can see why she used washi tape because it's easier to work with. Already sticky for the most part. We've got some rolling here a little bit on the fabric. Let's see. That's about half, I think. Trying to avoid any thickness here because we're going to have more than one layer. All right. Oops. That wasn't any good. I think I just glued the... Okay. I think I've glued the middle of the... Luckily, we're covering the whole thing. Covering the whole thing. You're putting on dishwasher duty come November. It's hard to work apart from your spouse. It's never an ideal situation, but we all do the things we've got to do to make everything work in our lives the way we need them to. Like I said, we don't want this all the way because we're going to put another envelope down there. No glue right there. No glue. You're liking this journal? Well, this was what the first Boo Crew box was going to be. However, I really can't trim this until I find my smaller pair of scissors. Just stop trying, Amy. Just stop. Stop obsessing. It's fine. Then we're going to add... Uh-oh. Did I do it? Did I do it now? I've made it crooked. Uh-oh. It needs to be right there. What did you do, Amy? I must have pushed it a little bit. Okay, that's fine. There we go. Okay. Now, without laying that down, we're going to add this other envelope here. And put another hinge strip down with a little space in between the two of those. And then we hinge the back side. We're coming over here and putting this envelope on up here. Yeah, it seems like a lot of layers. So let me... and then all of these white spaces, they're going to be covered with a cardstock of your choice. Like I said, I'm not so sure about... Because I've looked at what I would send out for the kit, for the box, and I think a lot of you already have, quite a lot of paper in colors, and this is kind of a plain Jane if you go with this route, or even if you add in colored paper. And the theme is, what was the theme? Oh, Love Gone Wrong. So you would have to choose, your idea of love gone wrong, or, non-traditional, like what most people would think of as love gone wrong. You could do couples. You could do pictures of obsessive relationships, or, you could do Gomez and Morticia Adams, or Lily and Herman Munster. You could go, Dracula and his three brides. That didn't work out so well for any of them. King Kong and whatever the girl's name was in the movie. I can never remember the girl's name. I can only ever remember the actress. There's a lot of ways to go with it. You could go, you could do a bunch of them, like especially for the waterfall. So we're just waiting for this to not be quite so sticky. Thank goodness kids have school. Yeah, you'd probably be insane by now. That's a lot of time by yourself with 4 kids. You are made of awesome, lady. Made of awesome. Okay, so when we're ready, we're going to use this strip over here. And we're also making another... It's another journal like this, but I think we might put a little cover on it. We might add a 6th sheet that's going to slide in here. Now, I haven't fixed where we cut that because everything is getting... Like, we're going to hinge the waterfall here. We're going to... something else happens over... Essentially, I think we're going to take care of all of this by putting on the various things. So I don't want to ahead of time be adding on yet another layer until I know what we need to do. And I just threw that piece of fabric off the ironing board. Woohoo! Fay Ray. Was that the name of the character or the actress? But yeah, so there's just a lot of, if you think about it, love gone kind of wrong. There's that story, Warm Bodies, about the girl and the zombie who fall in love. It's a book and a movie. There's plenty of YA novels to draw from. And, for that matter, um, romance books and things that didn't just quite go according to plan that you could, thematically do. This could just be a fun journal if you're just looking to make a journal project too. Nothing saying that you would have to absolutely do whatever the theme is for the box. I just when Sandy shared this with me, I was like, that looks like a lot of fun, and it has potential because you could use it as a Are you okay, Pam? Pam's taking all her messages away. Okay. Well, I hope everything is okay. And Daryl was the character. Okay. All right, so we're going to carefully try not to stick this together, and we're going to go ahead on with this. I got to go around the ironing board, though, and grab the piece of cloth that fell off. And then I'm sure there are digitals out there, too. You could definitely use digitals for this. Okay. So, and we're doing double duty here with this in terms of the hinging. So, and you could make it more up to the top, more up to the bottom if you want to. I'm going to put them in the middle for my purposes here. And I will add the link to the video that I got this idea from into the description box after the live. In case you want to make one yourself and you have all the supplies you need. Because it's fairly standard. It's just some scrapbooking paper, some wide washi or some thin fabric strips, some 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, okay. You know what? I don't think we need. Do we want to just? Is that going to affect? Yeah, I think we need to trim that. I think she probably went all the way up, but all of her envelopes were essentially the same length. The bigger two were the same length, and mine are not. Nope, we didn't get part of this. Okay. So let's just let that rest like there for a minute. Or if you wanted to go traditional love, you know, you could definitely go. Not really my jam, but a journal can be adapted to almost any purpose, you know. So far we seem to be doing okay. It's a little more time consuming, you know, because I'm not using a heat gun. I don't like to. We're just waiting until things aren't quite sticky, you know. So we'll let that sit there and I think I'll put everybody to sleep. How long have we been on? Or have we been on too long? Is it too much for you guys? Well, we've been on for almost 2 hours. So we'll cut the other fabric strip while we're waiting, and the one for the front too. So we'll cut. Well, each strip is like 1, 2. Get 2 out of each strip. Oh, I'm going the wrong way now. Now the fabric's facing the wrong way. I don't think it'll rip as well that way. So let's go right about there. Okay. And I suppose if you had the room, you could add on another envelope, which, you know, is a thing. Or you could just make a second waterfall. There's a lot of different things you could do. We're gonna, the first one I'm gonna make to the original specifications. You don't own a heat. I don't like the noise they make, to be honest. And I prefer the stuff just to dry naturally, if it can. I've been known to use it for mixed media, though, because, you know, a lot of times that's something you're doing timed or... So we may not get this all done today. But the video's there, and I'm following her process, you know, using fabric strips instead of... Because I don't really have any super wide washi. So... Almost we'll be ready we can flip that a little bit. How's Noodles today, Carla? How's that Noodles doing? And Coley and Blackie, how are they doing? All right, so let's at least get some measurements here. I think right about there is good enough. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, so I think we can glue it down without too much trouble. I probably could make the fabric strips, a little bit thinner. Oops, I got a little carried away there. Okay. Lid on the glue. Okay, so keep that from laying on itself. Wrong tool. I didn't see what you said, so it's all good from here. Apparently, retracting messages is the name of the game today. No worries. Okay, so now we need to let that dry just a little bit. And then we can go do the one in the front. Now I think when I make my real one, I would be inclined to use colored envelopes because I don't necessarily want to cover every little thing in cardstock or scrapbook paper. And I would like to see some of the, what's the point of putting all that fabric on there if we just cover it all up? That's all I'm saying. I think Susan might have said something naughty. Or it was just a genuine mistake. We all do make them. Oh boy. So we're just waiting for it to dry a little bit. It's a lot of white space though, isn't it? Lot of white space. Okay. So we'll put that. Oh, we'll put something under there. We're gonna add this envelope in. For now, we'll just set this ink pad under there while we figure out. Now, I think she moved it forward a little bit. Let me just double check the video. I like them for some things, but living where I do, and even in Phoenix or the Arizona, the desert part of, I find that the glue dries and you could just pop stuff apart. I would not make something that I wanted to keep long term with hot glue on it. One is still in the package. But I do occasionally use it for things, and it's nice to have for demonstration purposes. I think if you're demonstrating how to do something and you need it to go quicker than with wet glue, I could see that. But I would not use it for something I wanted to keep permanently, especially not living in the desert, because the glue is going to go dry out fast, and whatever it is going to pull apart, the glue will just pop away, Okay, so let me get to the third envelope. Okay, so let's see. Where did you hold the phone? Okay, now does she? Okay, so she is just going over here and lining it up right against there like that. So she's hinging it on the back side. But I'm going to guess on the front too. Let's see if she does. Yeah, she does. Okay. That's what I wanted to be sure of. So we're going to start with it this way, apparently. Okay. I could also kind of see it for seasonal things that you're not going to keep it forever. You're making it for a season, like a wreath in the fall or something, where you're not going to use it fall after fall after fall sort of thing. But definitely not a go-to for me. I inherited the glue gun I have from Sandy. Because of where she has to plug hers in at that desk out there. She's at that desk I used to be at when I crafted out in the other room, but had to quit because I couldn't do lives while Mike was at work, because I just felt like it wasn't, just not a good idea, because he says customer names and information and stuff like that, and I don't think I should be live while he's doing that and people can hear it. I don't know that it really matters because he's not doing residential, but occasionally, they do say people's names, and maybe it's just a me thing. Yeah, I'm just weird that way. It's going everywhere, but in the one spot I really like it to go. Jesus. Not there. Okay. And then, quite honestly, I think we're going to need to cut a new strip. Okay, well, we'll save that. Well, you live in a moister climate too, though. Oh, I said the M word. Carla. Up there in muddy Snowdo, you've got a lot more humidity and stuff than we get down here, which may mean it has more staying power for you. I remember one year I made a little mini maypole. I was so proud of myself. It was so cute. But I used hot glue to attach the stuff at the top, the ribbons, and then a nice big flower to hide all the ribbons for the pole. And I must have had a hot glue that sucker on there 85 times before I just gave up. And I did it with wood glue, and I had to hold it, and it was a whole involved thing. Okay. So we're going to measure that from there to... Came out really pretty, though, if I do say so, my humble self. It's good when you like your own stuff, right? Especially if you're the one using it. And we need that to be just a tiny, tiny bit shorter. This does seem to be adding some thickness that I don't necessarily agree with. But that is the nature of hinging. What I might have done was paper hinge the first two and then done fabric over the whole thing, I think. Oops. How often do you think I say oops when I'm making stuff? Whoops. Okay, so we want to let this dry a little bit now. Yeah, I feel like it is. But that's all that's going there. We're not adding anything else there. And I don't know that she had anything back here other than, you know, the decorative piece. It would be a lot thinner if it was washi tape, but quite honestly, I just don't own enough in a style. I own some washi tape that's wide, but you would need a couple of rolls of the same washi tape to accomplish this whole project, or two that are very complementary. And I like the idea of the fabric, but I might have paper hinged this, knowing that we're going in and putting in a piece of cardstock here and a piece of cardstock there. And then use the fabric to just kind of, you know, add a nice layer over the top for the decorative look of it. I think I could have saved myself some. So when I make the final version, we got to let this dry a little bit because now we have two, and this one was starting to come away. So we need to, let me put a couple of things in here. We don't want anything sticking to itself, you know. Sticking to itself would be bad. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think oops is definitely in my vocabulary for it. Lots of oopsing going on over here. Gonna get a drink real quick. Hopefully you guys aren't bored to tears. Okay, so let me look at the video and see. Okay, so the next part is the... Nope, what are we doing next? I'm confused. Okay, so she's showing her envelopes. Now she's got, her back one is taller, so maybe I should have put this one in the middle. But I don't think it matters. It matters if you care how that looks. If you want it to get slowly taller, I don't think it really matters. Okay, so next is the waterfall. Five, 6, 7, 8. So it looks like we're going to need 4 sheets of paper for that. 1, 2. I think she's showing 4 pieces of paper. So we gotta wait. I was just trying to get a little bit ahead. It only matters if you have OCD. Not that kind of waterfall, Sandy. Well, I always have to use glue with, I would be having this glue dilemma, whether I use paper, washi tape, or fabric. I just think, now I realize there's only 3 envelopes in here, so it really probably doesn't matter bulk wise, but thinking it through, and I probably just didn't put enough brain power. But I would have paper hinged in those 2 and used the fabric on the front and back, and that would have reduced some of the bulk. I don't really think there's any bulk here, and that's Going to be a good strong hinge so it doesn't pull away. And then you're adding another layer by putting cardstock here. And once you get the waterfall, the cascade thing in, and then there's a little pocket that goes back here as well underneath the waterfall. Cardstock goes here. So once you, I think you're hinging here at the waterfall part. And then you wind up with cardstock here and here. And I think she covers the spine at the end just to add a little extra strength. Now, I think you could flip this around. I think you could go ahead and sew the signature right in the middle if you wanted to. You could still waterfall or layer in these. They just be a little bit further back from the edge than they are. So I think there's a couple different ways you could do this. And then we're making finally a journal will go in here. So, but I think before we get too much farther, this is going to be taken care of when we hinge the waterfall on. So this won't matter, but I think we're going to have to seal that up. And very honestly, I think we might just put a little bead of tape, a little bead of because you could do a second waterfall here if you really wanted to. I think we might just put a little glue there. I don't know. We'll have to see how I feel about washi tape after this whole mess. But before we put anything down back here, we're going to want to seal that up somehow. So, but we're still waiting for this to dry. So, let's see. What should we talk about? New topic, new topic. We need a topic. We need something to talk about. Besides the fact that I could curl up and take a nap right now. Well, that's for sure. It's the wrong time of day for napping, though. It's almost 6 o'clock. So let's see. How long have we been on? Maybe we'll want to stop here and come back to this on Tuesday. I don't know. Well, we've only been on 2 hours. Did I really not? 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. Yeah, I guess. Did I come on later than 3:30? I thought I came on right at 3:30. Yeah, that's right. I just can't add. My clocking. So I guess we can talk about so she has 4 sheets, I think, for the waterfall. So let's grab 4 sheets of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and we've got a little grungy sheet here. Now this has to fit in between here and here. So we're obviously going to need to trim the paper some. We want to leave clearance on either side. So I think there is good. And then, I think right there. And right about there, I think. Let's start with that and see how that goes. So I'll move this over here. I'm obviously not going to be able to trim all 4 of these at the same time because my blade is very dull. 2 is about the limit of my. Okay. Talk about extras. I'm going to have to make some tiny journals just to use up those scraps. Okay. Let's make sure they're roughly the same size. Okay. Just trimming off a little. It's 5:51 here. So almost 6 o'clock. Okay, now this has to do with. Now you can obviously make the waterfalls as the gap, like where it's gonna. But this is, she says, she calls it a journal style. So you don't cut the paper and hinge it and do each individual one. Now I think I want mine. I'm gonna go look at hers real quick. Yeah, you guys are getting later and you're past dinner. We're just starting to think about dinner, I think. Well, I don't know what they're doing out there. I'm starting to think about dinner. Okay. Give me just a second while she's. Okay. So she got the journal. I don't know what's happening in here. The paper towel's coming with it. Okay. So I think what she did on this first one. Maybe it's how far down you want it to come. Go back. Yeah, she's measuring this first one off of how far down you want it to come. Now, if you don't want to put the pocket on the back, you could do yours all the way down here and have more pages for the waterfall. But I think I am going to add in the pocket since it's true to the original. So I think there's. Yeah, that's about the right amount of space. And then she's folding it up here on the edge of the. And I think she sews it at the top like a book. Okay. That's our first one. And so she's coming in here. And deciding where to fold it. Like this. Based on how far apart you want them to be. Okay, so I got a couple of mine a little bit crooked. Oops. See, I said it again. Now I'm going to be aware of every time I say oops. Oops. Okay, now she put hers in here and she wanted the whole thing covered by the book. So I may have to trim this off some. Like by that much. If I want it to come under the edge of the... I don't know if I can do this with my... Oops. Okay. All right, Janice, no worries. You got to take care of you, hon. You can't be in here chatting away if you're... Is it allergies or you got other things going on? Okay, so she wanted it covered by... So when we glue this in here, we have to make sure that... So what we might actually do here is push it just under the edge there. And we're covering it anyway, so it doesn't really matter if there's a line here. But that way I don't accidentally glue or put it in the wrong spot, you know? But I believe that we're going to hinge it just like this. Just like we did with all these. So now we're talking about bulk here. Because we're going to put yet another strip of fabric. So we have to, now I got to pick up all the stuff from my bookbinding kit. It's hell everywhere. Okie dokie. Where are my needles? There they are. Okay. So we need the middle of this, wherever the middle is. So right here. Allergic to that work. Yeah. You work. It's a necessary evil that we've all got to do it. I'm just going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch on this. It's so tiny. I don't feel like doing a 5. I haven't done a 3 in forever. And it's all getting hinged in and sealed over anyway, so I don't think it matters all that much. Whether it's 3, 5, 7, or 9. 9 would be super overkill for this tiny piece. More and more all the time. Yeah, that sounds about the size of it, right? I swear that I'm allergic to something in this house. Because I can go outside and most of my allergies will clear up. Now, it is admittedly worse at sometimes than others when certain things are blooming and whatnot outside. But I feel like for the rest of the year, like when I lived in the Phoenix Scottsdale area, I had to take my allergy meds in the spring and the fall, but I didn't have to take them really in the summer or the winter. And that's how quick a 3-hole punch goes. We put, you don't want to come across a needle later on. It's never good. I'm not tying a bow on this. Okay. We'll trim that off later. For right now. Okay. Let's check and make sure everything's okay over here. That's still the stickiest part. Okay. So that's what that's going to look like. When we hinge it in, we just want to make sure. I guess aesthetically it is more pleasing to not have it quite so. I need to trim. Because it was uneven. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. This string in the middle of this hanging right out the top of that. Okay. That's good. So let's pull that down. And remember, we're covering all this, so none of these lines matter. So that's where to line it up. There's always 9 million plastic bags. Okay. Let's just slide that there so it doesn't, so if it sticks on something, it's plastic. So I think actually turning it this way is going to be easier for me to hinge it. So, like that. Chocolate and blood orange. Itchy, itchy. Okay, so we're going to need, let's see if one of these other strips of fabric we have is, well, that's just about the right size, isn't it, though? But we probably want it to go all the way across the top just because we're still going to have a bit of an, the cardstock we're adding in is going to be centered, so there's going to be an outer edge. But at the same time, let's see what she did. I think she probably put it all the way to the... Let's go over here. Stick that front, 'cause nope, she did to the... She just did here. And it left a gap, and that's... I guess it's going to be actually, because you're never going to have it flipped up like this. So we really just need one as big as this. We'll have lots of scraps for scraps of joy. Okay. So here we go again, hinging some stuff. Now let's get it on the line. So we want to make sure we get the way it should be. Okay. Don't roll in on yourself. Okay. Okay, so that means we're going to have to turn it over. And hinge this side. Okay. See, we found a whole box of these, like minus probably less than 20 envelopes. It was pretty full. I'm thinking probably less than 10 envelopes missing, but always try and be generous. Probably a doctor's office closing during COVID, because it wasn't that long ago. I've had them for a hot minute, but not like years. I've maybe had them since the summer. And I kind of forgot about them until Sandy turned me on to this idea about, making this. And I immediately went, ooh. And then I had forgotten about it, because it was a little while ago that she showed it to me. I think I just glued the wrong piece on there. Oh well. We shall live with it. What else are you going to do? We're going to have to start an oops counter at some point. Okay. So let's test it before we... So we're under the just under the side of the book. And then obviously it'll be better when it's not wet with glue. So you have all the space to work with for, you know, if you're doing images, if you're doing glue book style or semi-journal, or just a full decorated journal, you have all the space to work with. But we need to let this dry. And we want to let it dry open, I think, like this. So I think this is the point at which, because I think we've added all the things. Let me go over and look at where she's at. Just... I think I even could have put... Now she's done ones. I've looked at like titles of other videos. She's done a bunch of these, and they are pretty neat. You can get these as close together as you want, and obviously you would need more paper if you were going to have them closer together. But that's not bad. Not a bad start at all. That needs to, because that's still pretty wet. And let's see what she's doing next. Okay, so we're down to the panels for the front and back, which I haven't even picked out paper yet. So let's look at where we are. We're at a quarter to heading into 15 minutes on 3 hours. How about if I come back on Tuesday and I have the pieces selected and cut, and we finish it up then? That way, because I know it's getting late for you East Coasters, and let me put something in here so it doesn't lay all the way down. The rest of these are pretty dry. I mean, I'm not quite as worried about them sticking together, but I guess better safe than sorry. So we'll just put something in every one. And that laying open should get that okay. But I think that's where we're going to leave it for now. I think you guys can see. So you're going to put in a panel here. We're going to put in a panel back here. On the outside of both of those, there's some covering to do here. And I'm going to have to reshape that a little bit since we cut it. I will just measure and cut the panels. But I will not glue anything down, and I won't, work on it. I won't cheat on you with it. I may start a second one. Because I don't really like, because even once you put the panel, you're going to see that. I don't really like that. But had I gone over all the way, then I would be beyond the book. So, and I guess if I get right up to the, we'll see what happens. I can always ink it and just move on with my life, right? Bye, Sandy. So that's where we're at. And let's, just real quick, let's pretend it's closed. Although it's very bulky, so not too, I mean, there's a lot of stuff sticking in there to keep the pages from. So it looks like we cover the front and back, inside and out. And then we put something over the spine. We do something with the flap up here. Inside and out. And we make the book for the inside, which is similar to the construction of this one. But I think I want a cover on it. If it doesn't have one, I think I do want to add a cover. So, not too much left. And we saw how quick that went together. So I think it's just a matter of choosing some coordinating papers And I'll try and pick out, multiple sets to kind of give a feel for how you could give it different looks. I think you guys, are already, it's not like you need a tutorial from me. You guys are good at matching your own stuff together with what you want to do. But thank you for coming in and spending like your whole afternoon and evening with me, ladies. I appreciate it. Thank you for the thumbs up, the thumbs down, however you thumbed. If you could thumb to the side, I'm sure we do it. However you guys are spending your days and nights, I hope it brings you great joy and happiness. I will be on as close to 5 o'clock on Tuesday as I can, until I see you in one of my lives or in a box somewhere. I wish you the happiest of crafting. Bye, 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 bye. Bright blessings and hugs and hisses to you all. That's going to be the end. Good night, Christine and Carla and Roseanne and Sandra and Janice and Susan, who's still hanging out. And goodbye to Betty and Mari. Thank you guys so much. And I think Sandy already hoofed it. Have a wonderful evening. The end. Bye.